And we are on, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us. This is Dr. Shabazz with Premier Hoops Weekly. We're joined today by an international basketball player. You know him by the name of Orlando Johnson. What's up, Orlando?
Yes, sir. How you doing, Dr. Shabazz?
Hey, man, I'm great. But before we start, we're shut down. We're quarantined, so we want to get this question over with. We want to know, since you've been shut in, what have you been binging on? You got through all of Tiger King. Did you start on like Lightning? Did you finish? Yeah. What are you binging on, man? What's your fix?
Right now, I just started that All American. All American was a really good show. I read through that probably in easy 2 days. Yeah, 3 days. Ozarks. Ozarks just came back on, so I had to get back tapped in with that. I started Tiger King, got through the first 2 episodes, didn't really draw me in, so I don't know if I'll finish watching that. But my brothers love it. Like, they've been all talking about that. So, and then also Black Lightning. I think I'm gonna start that here pretty soon. So yeah, those have been my binges right there. Besides, doing some reading here and there. So.
Getting some reading in.
Oh yeah, gotta get some reading in.
Business or pleasure?
A little bit of both. Business wise, been reading this book called With a Winning Mind. So really just tapping into the mental side. Just kind of keeping me sharp in terms of how I want to, stay active and keep my mind going, even though my body and stuff, we can't be out there physically doing all the labor that we want to in terms of the game, but just keeping my mind sharp. The pleasure have been, I've been reading I just finished Jay-Z's book, the one by Michael Eric Dyson, and then Charlemagne, the guy, and I just finished one of his books. So, definitely try to stay in tune with as much of my mental as I can, especially during this time. So it's tough for, everybody because, we're so used to having our routines and whatnot. But it's definitely been a pleasure to get a chance to do some of the things that I haven't done in a while in terms of watching these shows and some of these books.
It's a break. Where are you right now? What city?
I'm in San Jose, California right now. So yeah, it's just got back here probably about 10 days ago from Russia. So I've just been quarantined in the house.
You're in one of the toughest leagues. You're in a tough league. You're in the VTB, the United League, and you're 6'5", you're a shooting guard. So take us back. We like to hear our players tell us the first time, middle school, high school, or college. Take us back to the first time you realized you were a problem. The first time you heard somebody say, hey, who man is that? Hey, man, double him. Hey, pick him up. Tell us a story. When was it?
Oh, man, I would say my first time was I was about 14. I was 14 years old, my freshman year in high school. And, we're playing like a lot of the football guys, they haven't, this is the beginning of the year. A lot of the football guys haven't came back to play yet. So my coach was like, you're going to play varsity. And so I'm like, oh, okay. Like I planned that already in my mind anyway. Like I was already talking and speaking that into existence from the start. And then my first game, I go and I have 22 and 7. And then, the next 5, 6 games, I average about 20, 23 a game. Football guys come back and they're just like, wait, this freshman's out here leading us? Why? You know what I mean? And then after that, it dropped because we had a monster of a player that was out there on the football field, but he ended up being a pro basketball player too. But yeah, Eric Petty. That was my high school teammate. He was a 6'5", he was undersized center, but the dude he was baby Charles Barkley out there, and for him to, you know what I mean, to see how dominant he was, like at his side, could jump out the gym. I was like, oh wow, like, you know what I mean? He was there at that level, and then me as a guard, like coming into my own, you know, people just kind of seeing me in that light. I think that was when I realized, like, okay, I think I could be pretty good at this game. When, you know, the older guys are kind of looking at me like, hey, bring us home. You know what I mean? Okay, yeah.
So at 6'5" in high school, he's a center. At
Center,
6'5", as a
I was the guard.
professional, you're a shooting guard.
Yeah. Yeah. So
What?
it's crazy. Yeah.
Hey,
It's
man,
crazy. Go ahead.
I'm just saying,
Mm-hmm.
you're 6'5", and you're
Yeah.
recounting a story about one of the most dominant guys on your high school team, who was like a small
6'5".
Charles Barkley, and you're saying he was 6'5".
5. Yeah.
What's happened to the game?
Yeah, no, the game is crazy, man. Well, now if he was playing, he would be perfect. But like during that time, they were trying to transition him to, you know, a guard, and you know, he struggled with that for a while, because I think even when he got to college, they ended up playing him at the 4 and the 5, just because of how well he could rebound the ball, and his motor, you know, was off the chart. Not until, you know, some years later down the road, you know, when we caught up, and, you know, I would always tell him, I said, man, work with me, you know, because my brother taught me everything. My brother Robbie taught me. He was a guard. He was a point guard. So he's the one who put the ball in my hand and made sure I had guard skills. He said, you might be bigger than everybody now, but there's going to be a time where guys are going to be bigger than you, and you're not going to be able to play down there. And, you know, I would always tell, you know, my teammate, I was like, man, like, let's work on our, you know, guard skills. And he was just so dominant of just, you know, in our area, and, you know, in our section in Cali, that he didn't realize till later. He was like, man, I wish I would have listened to you and took you up on your advice, because I was like, man, the game is definitely, you know, changed. And I was like, yeah, man. I was like, we wasn't gonna be no Shaqs out there, you know, 7 feet, where we could just move anybody around. You know, guys got bigger, stronger, faster, so we had to develop, and that was the thing. Just kept developing and getting my craft right.
And you eventually went to the G League, you went to the NBA. Still don't know how you made that happen. How you went from it doesn't happen often. You went from the G League to the NBA. How?
Well, I was in the NBA. I got drafted, and then I went overseas after 2 years in the NBA. Came back. You know what? The G League kind of helped me find my love for the game again. You know, you go from being a, you know, college star to kind of like trying to find your way on a roster, on a team, and, you know, find that role that fits you. And you know, it's really hit or miss. And for me, just kind of Indiana was a blessing. Like being able to play with those guys and learn, really taught me what it took to be a pro and still being able to play today. Because I had some great veterans around me that showed me the way to play the game. And I think that's what helped me when I got back to the G League to make it back to the NBA, and have some good stints in that path. And then, you know, now carving out a niche overseas.
Speaking of overseas, Orlando, the VTB, that league, that was the first league to shut it down and just say, no, we're done.
Yeah.
That was the first.
Yeah.
Now, what did you say? Like, okay, they shut it down. We get it. What would be your solution? If you would have had, hey, we're going to ask Orlando Johnson, hey, Orlando, we're thinking about shutting down the VTB United League. This is a tough international basketball league. It's a very popular one. Orlando, why don't you give us a solution before we make this decision? What would it be?
Yeah, well, speaking just on VTB alone, I think that's probably toughest domestic league out. In terms of Spain, Italy, like from top to bottom, that league is very tough. But in terms of how they should have handled this, I would really look at it. The player safety, man. It's player safety first. I know everybody loves to play. I know we would all love to still be playing.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to think of it like this, like at the end of the day, a lot of these guys aren't from the respective country that they're playing in.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to look at it as like when, their families send them here to play for us, our whole objective is just to get them home safely. You know what I mean? And we have to take that into consideration, and especially with everything that's going on at a time like this, with their families and they're, worried about them and what's going on. Their minds probably aren't even on the game right now. And the main thing is we want to be able to have them be at peace of mind so they can go out there and play and perform at the level that we know they can.
Okay, but Orlando, you're with your second team in this league, man.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you make the change?
Mm-hmm. Well, for me, I got hurt right after that first stint in Russia. So I was out a year and a half. And for me, it was just I had to build my way back up. So in terms of – I probably would have stayed with that team, Unix, because we had a really good ball club, really good coach. And for me, I just thought it was a great fit for the way I wanted to play and how they used me. So, like just battling back from that injury, I really wanted to go back out there and show people that I can still play at a high level and
Orlando,
the best.
How many guys come back after an injury, much less a year and a half? How did you even get coaches to even give you the time? Say, hey, well, I haven't played. When's the last time you played? It's been a couple of weeks. Okay, let's suit up. When the last time you played? You're saying it's been a year and a half.